Hey folks, welcome to Paramay Trades. Paramay. Glad to have you here. Before I jump into the Friday roundup, the CoT Friday roundup, and for those of you who don't know what the CoT is, commitment of traders. We follow commercial interest on this channel to see if we can find some market sentiment direction to align ourselves with. So we use the commitment of traders as a leading indicator to see if we can align ourselves with the overall market sentiment. So we've done a few videos on live cattle, so now we're just kind of revisiting this, and I'm doing this before the Friday roundup just because I want to make it quick, get it out of the way. Strike while the iron's hot, I suppose. So we're just taking a quick peek at live cattle. And remember that the report that we generate here, and we'll just a quick look at what's going on in the market right now. Let's see if we can find live cattle. And this is why we're so adamant about aligning ourselves with a bullish side of the trade, because commitment of traders is looking pretty bullish here. And actually looking at this chart juxtaposed to last week, and we haven't really adjusted the 5 week prior just yet. We just kind of left it in the raw. There are a lot of very bullish charts right now by the commitment of traders. So are we getting toward the market bottom here? Well, we saw the dollar index just rifling up here. We got some good movement. This will be a nice Friday roundup report this week, but we're just gonna, pay attention to live cattle right now. We can see that they've come off a really negative outlook for some time, many weeks. And last week they set a new high. This week they're set a new high as well. So we are in bullish territory for commercial interest. So something to watch for. We did a comparison to natural gas, and we said, well, comms were bullish in the 6-month index for what seems like months, and natural gas didn't move. There's a seasonal effect for you. There just wasn't the demand for natural gas. But these guys thought that this was, at least for natural gas, was relatively. So now they're not so optimistic, right? But for many weeks, they were very bullish on this, and natural gas did not move one bit. Different kind of chart, right? Live cattle, commodity. Here you go. Here's your livestock. A little bit different with what the market is doing right now in terms of market sentiment. If you've been to the grocery stores, you know that there's a lot of fear in the public sphere, if you want to call it that. And the grocery stores are, empty by, 9, 10 o'clock. So people are padding their freezers with meat. Is that, can we use that to our advantage here? And comms seem to think so. So let's take a look at the chart real quick. All right, we've gone over this so many times. It's the same thing every time. Market sentiment is low. We had on here, let's get this a better look here. WPR in the oversold range. We were waiting on this. We were absolutely waiting on a single contract would have yielded you a nice return, even just a start. So we've got diminishing open interest, relatively lower diminishing open interest. It's part of the rule set, and we have 6-month or 3-year index. So we've got your 6-month index in the purple here, and you got your 3-year index in the green. I think I've got that right, unless the colors somehow switched, but we can always just take a look. So we do have, I know it's nice to look at the report in this manner. It doesn't help you when you're looking at a chart though, right? So that's why we put the all of this data into TOS. I don't know that they have this data yet. They didn't when I was doing this probably about a month ago. But we do have the TOS indicator built with the help of some of the guys over at ThinkScript or the Script Lounge in TOS. ThinkScript's pretty cool too. They got a nice website. So we just want to make sure our color scheme is right here. I'm not the best programmer, so I mean this looks pretty ridiculous, but 6 month in purple, 3 year in green. Yeah, so we're good here. We're good, right? So we've got both 6 month index and 3 year index up over 80%, which is a extremely positive outlook for live cattle, and it showed here in the chart as well. I mean, yeah, we broke in through here, and we were looking for a pivot on the lower time frames, but this is absolutely, I mean, this could run. This could really run here. I mean, this is such a dramatic sell-off, right? We knew that there was a March decline on the seasonal study, so I mean, we were kind of waiting for that. But here we are, the 20th of March, and now are we going to get an uptick here? Do we still have our seasonal study out here? Yes, we do. And of course, when we do that, it switches us over every time. So here's live cattle, right? So we do have a nice chart on live cattle. Let's do this real quick. So we get a nice clean chart for the seasonal study. It's an 8-year study, right? It's an 8-year study. Let's create a new drawing set here. And we'll just take a quick look. Not a very good year for live cattle to start. Where can we go from here? I mean, this is good Lord. If you're not a buyer down here, we're going to be a buyer up here. I'm not going to be a buyer up here. So, I mean, can this thing rally? So we knew that there was a March decline happening right up until April. And does it bode well, very well for cattle after that? It seems like if you're above the average, maybe. But if you're below the average, it looks like they kind of just stayed there. Anything above the average was a really good year. But we've only got 1, 2, 3 on an 8-year study here. And we're so far well below the average that, can we get some kind of correction back towards the average before it starts to flatten off? Can we make a case for that? Well, let's just take a quick look. So we did post this in our Discord, so if you would like to join the Discord, go ahead. All of this stuff is going to be posted on the Discord channel. It's our chat community. If you've never used Discord before, you can use it through the web-based browser. It's just not a very strong case for a rebound here, for much of a rebound. I mean, looking at some of the seasons that were really far behind. Does it help? Does it help? Is there any kind of rally at this time of year after the sharp sell-off? So looks like everything just sells off really. And this is a different kind of year though, and we haven't had a year like this in some time. The whole market's selling off. But the averages around this time frame seem to favor a decline, but we've already been in a sharp decline for some time on cattle in the current season. And I like that W look. I like that as a bottoming look, I like that bottoming look there. That W look. And I did push a little lower. Oof. A case for a rebound here? I think maybe. I think so. I think where commercial interest is, we would like to be aligned with them. And even if we get a nice retrace back up to close to the average of where we are now, we're down about 20%. So it's about. Can we get a 25% hike? That'd be amazing. That'd be pretty amazing. So pay attention to. I mean, if you're not in this trade already, we missed out on the swing here. There's still plenty of time, I think, to get into this trade. So just to put this in retrospect here, $10 move in cattle with a single contract spot. This is yields about $4,000, right? This is what we look for quite consistently on the lower time frames to see where we can, get ourselves into this trade. We like this look, right? Granted, it did come back down, but tough chart with the way the liquidity is on this. Almost looks pretty difficult to grab a position unless they're really trading it. Not an easy chart to trade. But do we have a nice swing pivot here? And where's our technical test going to come from? What a tough chart. What a tough chart. Where, if you're a breakout trader, I mean, maybe, you get up on this, but they got some work to do here. I want to see something out of here. Boom, so he's got that right, high or low. And that's pretty, where can this thing test that? Would be a nice safe entry to get into this before it takes off. We've got to watch the market a little bit here, but cattle is starting to close up. Had a good week close up in here. I don't know that you want to wait any longer to get into this trade. Maybe come down, retest something here. Where are we? Wow, I mean, look at that, from 93 to 128. I mean, this thing can move, right? This thing can move. You're on the right side of the trade here. This thing can move. You find the bottom of this, and this thing can move. Tough chart to play, but look at the amount of response in this area. Anything under 100. It's just good movement here. Good price action. And that is a stick in the ground here. Did that knife stick in the ground and pop back up? That's our weekly chart, right? That's our weekly chart. Let's look at the 4 hour. I don't know how much it's going to help, but oof. Yeah, I mean, that's looking like a nice bottom, right? I mean, from what you can tell, it's just such a difficult chart. I don't know that I'm waiting for this break here. It broke one. This thing can take off. If com's getting bullish here, you really got to watch this. This will be a really nice play. It's not as exciting to play, I don't think, live cattle as it is to play, S&P and whatnot. But I mean, there is much more, visually much more activity, at least on the chart, when this thing did decide to go. When it did decide to dump off too, I guess. But tough chart to play, but this looks good. This looks really good in terms of commercial interest. That nice W going. Boom, boom, boom. I think this is bullish. Yeah. And WPR is up in that oversold range, but I mean, it doesn't matter much when it's getting bullish. I mean, look back here when it was getting bullish. Didn't come down for almost a week. Oh, I'm sorry, almost a month. It just kind of hung out here, a very decisive direction. So I mean, is this starting to get very decisive about a move up, a move higher? I think the market looks bullish for cattle right now. We've got the March decline, but with what is happening in the market right now, with what is happening in the grocery stores and everything else, there's one commodity I'd like to be aligned with when this thing starts to run. There's no doubt in it. I mean, they're bullish here. They're bullish. Well, we got the three 3-year index and the 6-month index were both, I think, aligned up here, up over 80. And this thing took off, man. I think you'd be remiss here to not get in on this trade. Yeah, that's all I got to say about live cattle, man. Find a safe entry. Find a safe entry. Tough chart to play, but this could be a nice money maker. It looks good. Cool. All right, that's all I got to say about live cattle. We'll catch you on the next video, which should be the CoT Friday roundup, if you're tuned in. So thanks for stopping in. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the comments, the likes. If you want to pop into our Discord channel, it should be listed in the description. And so we've got a lot of content that folks can just come in and browse. It's a journal type atmosphere. It's a community type atmosphere. We talk about the charts and stuff like that. Well, there's a lot of permission based channels that all users can read but maybe not contribute. But if you stick around, maybe you can help be a contributor to our community. So we'll leave that in the description. I hope you find yourself on the profitable side of the trade, and we'll see you on the next video.